Building a singularity from scratch. Building a singularity from scratch is something that is very rarely done. I've only actually ever seen it done in Salamander, which is the medium roleplay server, and that's not as surprising because rounds last a lot longer there. To be able to build an entire singularity generator from scratch in a low roleplay server on Lizard is practically impossible. The amount of coordination it takes to get science and cargo to work with you and the game to not just instantaneously end, basically, is rather difficult. But I'm going to explain it, how to do it from completely by hand, and I am going to skip the parts of actually getting the boards. I will explain where you get them, though. So, Science can print every single board you need. They can also even print SMES boards and substation boards. To get the emitter, you can either, again, ask Science to make an emitter board, or ask Cargo to order them. And you need a total of 8 emitters. You will also need the Singularity generator itself, which also, again, comes from Cargo. And you need 4... what are they called? You need 4 containment field generators as well. Also comes from Cargo. The station itself will also need power, or you can ask salvage for SMESs and substations. Don't just steal them from the station, please. Even though I don't know, you might be able to justify stealing it if you just tell people you're making a singularity. Anyway, I'm going to make this as seamless as possible and not drag it on. So, all the boards you need is a emitter left board, emitter right board, end cap board, wheel chamber board, emitter center board, PA control box computer, and a PA power box board. You need a shit ton of LV cables, medium voltage, and high voltage cables. I'll be taking all of these. And yes, I have an ERT backpack. You're not going to be able to hold this as much as I am, but this is for the sake of the video. This is optional. I'm just doing this to make it easier. And you're going to need a lot of glass and a lot of steel. And I'll come back for these. So, I'm going to just take these with me as well. So, you're going to want to have access to space, and you're going to need to be able to move back and forth quickly. But you obviously don't want to kill people while doing so. So, we do so, and I need to turn on my oxygen. Of course, you need EVA protection, but I'm assuming if you're building a singularity, you already know how to do this. I'm also just going to spawn a stack of rods. But I'm sure anyone watching this is experienced enough to know how to do the basics at this point. Oh, I'm a slime. I need a... Certainly helps to breathe the right stuff. Okay. And to make a singularity, you need a 9 wide space, and you need about... I don't know. It's like 13 long, so like a 9 by 13 area. So we're going to come over here, and having a CE belt certainly makes this a lot easier. So we're going to want to go a little out, and also keep in mind that the singularity generates a lot of radiation, so you really don't want vulnerable people nearby. Just need a room to work with. I'm going to spawn more rods, just to make this not last literally forever. Okay, that's far enough out. So, we're going to just call this the middle, basically. So, just count by threes. So, like, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is where the generator will be. Then 1, 2, 3. 1, 1, 2, 3. And easy peasy. So, we will put the singularity generator right in the middle. If you don't put it in the middle, you're going to have very uneven Well, it doesn't really matter that much. It's not like math. It doesn't have to be mathematically perfect, but it just saves a lot of time. So right in the middle, and then you could branch off. Anchored by default. Also helps a lot if I... And in each one of these corners, I actually made this a little bigger than it needed to be, but in each one of these corners, you're going to want to put a field generator. So you kind of just make a box around it. Just like so. Get that off the screen. And there we go. This is the ideal containment site. So now you need the field generators. Once again, this will come from cargo. You need 4 of them. You put them in all 4 corners. And you need to make sure they're anchored. And they also need power, so we're not ready to power them just yet. And then we need to go outwards. Like this. This is where the emitters will be. And once you start getting a shape going, it actually doesn't take that long. It's really just making a nice square. Now we have the outer containment, and on each side, you will also want to get these from science or cargo. Cargo will be easier. You need to have emitters all facing the correct direction, like this. And yes, you're going to have to do this all by hand. You won't have the fancy sandbox tools like I do. I'm still going to do a lot of it by hand, but the parts that you can't... Well, you can build emitters, but I don't think anyone cares if I... No one's going to learn from me building 8 emitters. Okay. Another thing that I also didn't mention, you need radiation collectors. And in order to get them, you once again, as you've guessed it by now, have to go through cargo. And a typical layout is just 6 collectors on both sides of the Singularity, and that will generate basically infinite power. And I should delete this. Oh yeah, I forgot this. I have an older version, can't cut lattice in this version, even though you're supposed to be able to. Don't want to get... It wouldn't really matter if I got eaten by the Singularity, but I'd rather it not. Okay. So now we have the Singularity area itself is built, and obviously is a lot faster than you'd be able to do because, once again, no tools. And the next part is you're going to need 6 machine frames and a computer frame. So, oops, you press G to do this by hand. You need 6 machine frames, like that. And so the end cap is back here. Well, sorry, you need to actually build the frames. So let me just do that real quick. Oh, I wasted a steel by clicking under it. Then you've got to anchor them all. And then you've got to, as the thing says, add an LV cable to all of them. So now you got to insert the boards. So like this, end cap, power box, control box. Oh, that's I clicked the wrong one. And I'm an idiot, and the control box is actually in the front. So let me... like that. You put it in there, then the fuel's at the front. And then left, center, right. All like so. And each one takes different things. It's glass and steel. So you can just kind of go around spam clicking as fast as you can. There's no do after for this. That's all you need. And this one also takes an AME fuel jar, but engineering will probably have that, or you can just ask cargo again for this. And then you simply just screwdriver every single piece. And of course they're all facing the wrong way. And even I still messed it up. This is supposed to be in the middle, so just easy fix. You just unanchor it and move it like so. Also, everything is facing the wrong way. So we're going to have to rotate everything to face up. So everything's getting unanchored anyway. This is why I mean that doing this in a live round is an endurance test for sure. Rotating it. Wrong way. Rotate, rotate. There we go. And these all have to be rotated 180 degrees. So. And now you got to add more cables. And then you have to screwdriver everything once more. Not quite done. We still need to build a computer frame. And it goes on the right side of the thing. And for a computer frame, once again, it's just more steel. Then you got to anchor it. And then you just insert the board. And then you screwdriver it. Then you add more cables. And then you add glass. And then you screwdriver it again. And one more cable. And then one more screwdriver. Congrats. We have successfully made the entire generator. And these are probably going to have to be swapped because I think I mistook left and right. But anyway, we have to get this powered. So we need to run low voltage cables all the way back into the station. Because you need some basic power generation to start. Or you could bring your own generator and make a self-contained little system, but just for the purposes of this. We are now connected. I spaced step accident, whatever. There we go. So you can scan the parts, and as you can see, yeah. Sometimes I get confused by this, and I'm glad to admit it. Easy to make these mistakes. Left and right actually doesn't mean left and right. You can tell because the cables aren't connected, meaning that's wrong. And also, I just completely forgot that you also to screwdriver them. But I need to... That one can stay there. I need to move this one where the right one is. I also haven't built a Singularity in a long time. Just like that. Going. Rotate it. And beautiful. Now we're operational. We're not ready to fire it yet. So now we got to do more wiring. We need to connect every one of these emitters to medium voltages, and all the radiation collectors also need to be set up on high voltage. So we're just going to run high voltages around like this. Like that. That's all you need. And make sure you turn them all on just by left-clicking these things. And then you need to, if you want to actually gain any power, you need to run all these fancy cables down here. And just for the sake of this video, I'm going to assume you know what SMESs are. You put the SMES on that one, and then you're going to want to put... Next we need medium voltages. We're going to put a substation there. So let's put a substation on this one as well. And now for medium voltages, you need to wire these up to every single emitter. And the containment fields themselves do not need power cables. Oops, wrong way. And you just go ahead and this is why you make a fancy perfect circle, basically. I'm gonna have to... that. Keep it wiring. And one more stack. And also, this is just good information to have for when you actually make Singularity. And the only thing left to do is first you go in the middle. You make sure every one of these is on. Make sure that's anchored. You shift-click all this stuff just to make sure it's all anchored. And every one of these is booted up. Now you go around in a circle. You left-click to turn it on, and then alt-click to lock it so people can't mess with it that don't have engineering access. And then once you start hearing those beautiful sounds, you know it's working. All the emitters should turn green, like so. Now it is successfully contained. And if you touch it, it throws you. It's kind of funny. Now, and also you need a high voltage into the box, the power box. It even says it has a connector. So you actually don't need it in the field chamber. You just need it at the power box. And it's only a matter of time until the Singularity is formed. Okay. There it is. Hear my Geiger counter going off almost instantly. And it's growing. We have created power. Oh shit! Okay, it almost ate me. So, just to show that it is collecting power, I'll just use my multi-tool on the high voltage, and you can see theoretical supply is crazy high. And that is how you make a contained Singularity by hand. You could easily do this in a real round if you have the time and can get the departments to coordinate good enough. And thank you guys for watching.